We talking about the first question that we were given to talking about business process re-engineering, which is basically taking things in the work world and in the business world that have become outdated based on new technology or new languages or just people being more efficient in specific ways, and even just like knowledge has changed, like ways to make your workforce be better, which is kind of the example that I use a little bit. In the 90s, Honeywell actually shut down production of their company for a brief period of time in order to retrain their managers for a specific way to be more efficient. And they also introduced some new forms of salary compensation. But I thought it was really interesting that they were willing to not even be producing goods for an amount of time to revamp this process. Um, so essentially, this figure shows kind of the process that companies go through when they want to re-engineer something. And so first they identify, okay, what is the issue? Who or what is the issue? Is it a technology issue? Is it a personnel issue? What needs to change? And that's knowledge and collecting data and seeing. Sometimes companies will go through like full analysis of their costs and things like that, and that's where they'll find what's causing them problems and what needs to change. And that's one of those things that maybe isn't obvious to the human eye, and that's something that technology has definitely changed. And i I don't know this for a fact, but I would assume that this is something that is changing more and more now with technology than it did, like things didn't innovate as quickly maybe like 50 years ago. But anyway, the next step is to design what is what is going to change, like how are we going to fix this. And that's what Honeywell did. They took a look at their company and saw who needed to be retrained and who needed to be incentivized to be more efficient. Um, and so then the next step is to implement this new, whatever it is, new technology, new strategy. And not everything goes past this is like a beta testing phase. There are things that are implemented that don't work. Um, but first it has to be tested to see if it's gonna actually be more efficient. I mean, when it's something that's technology based, it's kind of like more of a numbers thing. It either works or it doesn't. Um, but something like new training could be more subjective. And then the last process is to assess how this is working, and if it actually solved the problem. Um, in general, this is just used to improve efficiency in companies because every day new technology is created, and it just makes things more efficient to be up to date on the most new technology. Yeah.